So let's start para sa ato ang midterm coverage sa ato ang assessment and evaluation in mathematics. So dirita sa ato ang chapter 3 na development of assessment tools, that is knowledge and reasoning. So first muna nato i-discuss kayang types of objective tests. So we are concerned with developing objective tests for assessing the attainment of educational objective based on Bloom's taxonomy in this chapter. So kung nakaremember pa mo sa ng Bloom's taxonomy katong natay lower order thinking skills and higher order thinking skills, di ba? Kung nakaremember pa mo ato unong to kabuok. So for this purpose, we restrict our attention to the following types of objective tests. We have true or false items, multiple choice type items, matching types, enumeration and filling of blanks, and essays. So familiar man ta no kay syempre moabot jud ang time nga magbuhat jud mo og exam, di ba? Or assessment sa students. So ito yung ginagamit for the objective test. The first four types of objective tests are used to test the first 4 to 5 levels of hierarchy of educational objectives, while the last, that is the essay, is used for testing higher order thinking skills. So the development of objective tests require careful planning and expertise in terms of actual test construction. The more seasoned teachers can produce true or false items, the test can even higher order thinking skills and not just mere rote memory learning. Essay are the easier to construct than the other types of objective tests, but difficulty with which objective grades are derived from essay examination often discourage teachers from using this particular form of examination in actual practice. So, ibig sabihin, ang atuang essay, sa'yo naman jud na buhaton. Di ba, dali naman jud magbuhat og problem for the essay. Pero lisod siya pag abot na dayon sa kung imo siyang gamiton for exam. Okay? Case diri sa true or false, of course, kay 50-50 ra man gud ang mahitabo. Di ba? Kung maggamit kag true or false sa exam, kung magpili ra ka, no? So, dili na dayon magamit ang TOS. Ang TOS is the planning a test and construction of table of specification. The important steps in planning for a test are identifying test objectives, deciding on the type of objective test to be prepared, preparing table of specification (TOS), constructing the draft test items, tryout validation. So we will discuss these steps in more detail below. So first one nato is identifying test objectives. An objective test, if it's to be comprehensive, must cover the various levels of Bloom's taxonomy. So importante man jud na basta mag-involve gali kung mag-objective gali ka dapat ta jud ang Bloom's taxonomy katong unom ka book. Okay, each objective consists of a statement of what is to be achieved and preferably in how many percent of the students. So we have an example there. We want to construct a test on topic subject verb agreement in English for grade 5 class. The following are typical objectives. So we have here the knowledge. Kung naka-remember pa mo aning unang kabuok, di ba? Knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, di ba? For Bloom's taxonomy. So ito yung mga typical objectives that students must be able to identify the verb and the subject in the given sentence. So sa'yo na ra, kay identify naman siya. No? Pero again, yung yung knowledge, comprehension, and ang application kay na sila sa lower order thinking skills sa Bloom's taxonomy. Sa comprehension, students must be able to determine the appropriate form of a verb to be used given a subject of a sentence. Example ni siya kay mag-create biya jud kag typical objectives para sa subject-verb agreement. Sa application, student must able to write sentence observing the rules of subject-verb agreement. Sa analysis, student must be able to break down a given sentence in the subject and predicate. So i-breakdown na nimo. Then sa synthesis, the students be able to formulate rules to be followed regarding subject-verb agreement. So ina na siya. Pag maggamit ka sa Bloom's taxonomy for the identifying test objectives. So next na pod kay ang deciding on type of objective test. The test objectives dictate the kind of objective test that will be designed and constructed by a teacher. For instance, for the first four levels, we may want to construct a multiple choice type test, while the application and judgment, we may opt to give an essay or a modified essay test. Okay? So for preparing sa TOS nato, a table of specification or TOS is a map or test map that guides the teacher in constructing the test. The TOS ensure that there is a balance. Okay? Balance between sa ato ang ginagamit. Okay? Which is the items that test lower level thinking skills and those which test higher order thinking skills. So muna kong giingon nga ang paggamit sa Bloom's taxonomy nato kay natay lower and higher order thinking skills para naay balance sa test. Okay? So the simplest TOS consists of four columns: a level of objective to be tested, statement of objective, item numbers where such an objective is stated, being tested, number of items percentage out of the total for that particular objective. And the prototype table is shown below. So inani ang pag-construct for TOS prototype nato. So sa level, kailangan na kaibutang sa 5. Kay actually ang ikaunang ka-evaluation man to. So wala to na siya gi-appeal. Katurang 5 levels lang. Then you write the objective. Sa imong objective, identify lang nimo ang subject, verb, and ana. Okay? Or diri, forming appropriate verb form, and ana. Or determining subject predicate, formulating rules. Kailangan mo, kung instead, syempre, dito sa level na ginagamit. Okay, sa level 5, writing sentence. Observing rules on subject verb agreement. Then ang number of items na dayon. So kung ang number of items nimo is from 1 to 20, ibungkag dayon nimo siya. Of course, then identify unsa to nga mga items nga nabilong siya diri sa unsa nga level. Then of course, i-count nimo pila pud kabok to nga items. Kung 5 items, so ang item number 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, puro knowledge lang, which is 5. Okay? Then, of course, i-percentage po din mo. Igura na siya divide. Okay? 5 divide 30 ra na siya. The same gyapon then sa part 2, 10 points for your synthesis. Okay, so 1/3. So 33.3. Make sure a total of 100% inana. So, actually, maghatag jud mog inani nga problem para sa exam. Magbuhat jud mo og TOS prototype, maghatag ra kog og instruction sa inyo ah. So in the table of specification above, we see that there are 5 items that deal with knowledge, and these items are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 similarly. And also another 5 items represents for the synthesis, namely 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So the first four levels of Bloom's taxonomy are equally presented in the test, while the application tested through essay is weight equivalent to 10 points. In ana siya, or double the weight given to any of the first four levels. So the table of specification guides the teacher in formulating the test. As we can see, the TOS also ensures that each of the objectives in hierarchy of educational objectives are well presented in the test. So, inana, pag magbuhat kag TOS, make sure nga organized siya para mag-guide jud ang teacher sa pag-create sa exam, make sure ga-follow jud siya diri sa level ng Bloom's taxonomy. Okay? So that is the resulting test that will be constructed by the teacher will be more or less comprehensive. Without the table of simplification, the tendency for the test maker is to focus too much on facts and concepts that at the knowledge level. So yun na ang tendency pag dili magbuhat og table of specification, basin manggod ang 30 items puro knowledge tanan or 30 items sa exam kay puro comprehension tanan. So mas maayo ibungkag jud na nimo kay syempre ito yung of course level sa thinking skill sa student. Next na po ang constructing test items. So importante po syempre kung nakabuhat na ka og TOS, proceed ka sa pagbuhat na sa test items. That is the actual construction of the test items follow the TOS. That is a general rule. It is advised that the actual number of items to be constructed in a draft double desired number of items. For instance, if there are 5 knowledge level items to be included in test form, final test form, kung makita nimo 5 items para sa knowledge, then at least 10 knowledge level items should be included in the draft. Kaya magbuhat pa kag draft, diba? So magbuhat sa draft nimo, magbuhat sa kag 10 knowledge items, 10 knowledge level items. Subsequent tests, tryout, and item analysis will most likely eliminate many of the constructed items in the draft. So, sa sunod manggod kay magbuhat na dayon kag item analysis, that is either that they are too difficult, too easy, or non-discriminatory. Okay, mag-discuss pataan ng item analysis kay, di ba, 5 items ba yan na? So, sa isa ka item, ato pa nang i-check. Hence, it will be necessary to construct more items than will actually be included in the final test form. So sa item analysis and tryout, the test draft is tried out to a group of pupils or students. The purpose of this tryout is to determine the item characteristics through item analysis and characteristics of the test self-validity, reliability, and practicality. Sa 3 dash as the 3.3 na po, dili na tayo mag-start na ta sa constructing the true or false test. So ang true or false, of course, that is a binomial choice. So duha ra jud mong pagpilian that have only two options such as true or false, right or wrong, good or better, and so on, as long as binomial. A student who knows nothing of the content of the examination would have a 50% chance of getting the correct answer by sheer guesswork. Although correction for guessing formula exists, it is better or best that a teacher ensures that a true or false item is able to discriminate properly between those who know and those who are just guessing. So, importante dyan na ay true or false kay in case study, wala nag-study yung bata, mag, magtagna-tagna na lang dyan kay 50% chance na lang kaysa naman ang imo ang exam sa math kay puro solving tanan. So, better na apod kay ibutang nga true or false. Kay para makita jud nimo isa jud nagtuon or just guessing. So modified true or false can be the test offset the effect of guessing by requiring students to explain their answer and to disregard the correct answer. If the explanation is correct, here are some the rule of thumb in constructing true or false. So example, rule number one, rule of thumb bandita. Rule number one, do not give a hint inadvertently in the body of the question. So, di na pwede magbutang og hint. So, for example, the Philippines gained its independence in 1898 and therefore celebrated its centennial year in 2000. So, obviously, it is false because 100 years from 1898 is not 2000, that is 1998. So, obvious kayong question, no? Makatubag na dyan ng estudyante yan kay dagani mo siya hint, okay? Sa problem pa lang. So, mo na ang rule of thumb, ayaw paghatag og hint sa body of question. Rule number two, avoid the using words always, never, often, and other adverbs that tends to be either always true or always false. So example, Christmas always falls on Sunday because it is a Sabbath day. So of course, di ka kaingon nga. Always, no? Mura siya makaingon kag true ba na or false. Mura, muna klaro imong example or imong problem. Okay? Kay, syempre, di man kakaingon nga matunong ba siya Sunday, di ba? Ang ato ang Christmas. So that's why the the use of the word always are almost always false. The test why students can easily guess his way through a test like this and get a high score even if doesn't know anything about the test. Diba? So, syempre, ibutang dyan niya false. So, avoid lang nato gamit sa often, always, never, ayan. Rule thumb na pod, number 3, avoid long sentence and this tend to be true. Keep it short. So make sure kung magbuhat ka og true or false, keep it short ang imong sentence. Kay kung taas kayong sentence, niya kay syempre yung exam or kung mag-assess tag student, time pressure baya. So lisod gaya no kung taas ang imo ang sentence, baga kayong sentence, no? Tapos wala na lang estudyante, butang nga lag true. 'Di ba? So make sure nga keep it short jud sa imong true or false. So example, ani test need to be valid, reliable, useful, although it require a great amount of time and effort to ensure the test possess these test characteristics. Para sa ani, dili na ko ni siya basahon, okay? Kay example ra pud na. Okay? Notice that the statement is true. However, we are not sure which part of the sentence is deemed true by the student. Okay? So example, tests need to be valid, reliable, and useful. Like it takes very little amount of time, money, effort to construct tests with these characteristics. The first part of the sentence is true, but the second part is debatable and main fact false. So medyo confusing siya. Kaya ang first sentence kay true din, ang second sentence kay false na siya. So, may tabo, ma ma-confuse siya. Okay? True response is correct and also false response is correct. Mahulog na noon siya bonus kung dili nimo gina-review ang imong ah, questions nimo, 'di ba? So we don't want nga mahitabo nga bonus, kailangan i-double check jud ang ang test items, especially sa true or false. Rule number 4 naman, avoid trick statement with some minor misleading word or spelling anomaly. Misplaced phrases, etc. A wise student who doesn't know the subject matter may detect his strategy does the answer correctly. So example, true or false na sa the principal of our school is Mr. Albert Panadero. So, syempre, for the principal's name may be actually correct, but since the word is misspelled, the entire sentence takes different meaning. So the answer is false. So actually, that's quite tricky, but utterly useless item. So mahulog siya useless na kay mali naman po ang misspelled naman ng gamit ang word. So medyo confusing siya. Sa rule number 5, avoid quoting verbatim from the reference materials or textbooks. This practice sends the wrong signal to the student that it is necessary to memorize the textbook word for word and thus acquisition for higher level thinking skills are not given due importance. Rule number 6, avoid specific determiners or giveaway qualifiers. Example, students quickly learn the strong word statements are more likely to be false than true. For example, statements with never, no, all, or always moderately statements are more likely to be true than false. Okay? So, kasagara, ginagamit man gudi sa mga teachers, pero ayaw ni siya gamita ka ng mga never, no, all, always. Okay? Mga strongly worded statements. Okay? Kay kasagara man gud nga ang mga estudyante mo answer jud sila true than false. Statement naapajud kaning many, often, sometimes, generally, frequently, or some should be avoided. Okay. Next na po, true or false questions avoid a grossly disproportionate number of true or false statements or even patterns in the occurrence of true and false statements. Okay? So inato, so at least dagan kay kag bantayan, create kag true or false, keep it short, simple, make it understandable pod. Bawal gumamit ng mga strongly worded statements o guban pa. Next na pod, sa multiple choice test na sad, kung mag-create ta og in ani nga exam, kasagara di ba sa mga board exams kay multiple choice test jud na. Okay? Because a generalization of true or false test kay syempre binomial raman duha ra may mo pagpilian sa true or false. Diri naman sa multiple choice is a type of test offers the students of more than two options per item to choose from. Each item na multiple choice test consider the two parts, the stem, the options. In the set of options, there is a correct or best option, while the others are considered distractors. So sa multiple choice, of course, isa ang correct answer, and then the rest, ginatawag na sila distractors or distractors. Distractors are chosen in such a way that they are attractive. Though those who do not know the answer or are guessing, but at the same time have no appeal to those who actually know the answer. So na yung mga inana na yung mga distractors nga may chance nga mo nang mapili sa student, no? Kay more kung mag-guess na lang, di kutob na lang, din wala ko balo so mapili jud ang distractors. Okay? It is the feature of multiple choice type tests that allows the teacher to test a higher order thinking skills even if the options are clearly stated. So as in the true or false items, there are certain rule of thumb to be followed in constructing the multiple choice test. So we have here the rule of thumb na sad para sa multiple choice test. First nato dire for guidelines. Guidelines number one, do not use unfamiliar words, terms, and phrases. The ability of the item to discriminate or its level of difficulty should stem from the subject matter rather than from the wording of the question. So example, no? So yun nga, dili ka pwedeng magamit og mga unfamiliar words ha. What would be the system reliability of the computer system whose slave and peripherals are connected in parallel circuits and each one has a known time to failure probability of 0.05? Di ba kung ikaw magbasa, ma-unfamiliar jud ka sa mga word nga slave and peripherals, di ba? At first, murag maka-open kag dictionary or sa mga pasabot ana. That may not be able to answer correctly if he knew the subject matter or reliability. Kung kabalo jud ka sa topic nga reliability, magets niya pero kung inanay manggali nga discuss nga reliability pero wa kabalo sa word or term nga slaves peripherals, mahulog siya nga confusing. Sa number two naman, do not use modifiers that are vague and whose meaning can differ from one person to the next, such as much, often, usually. So example, much of the process of the photosynthesis takes place in A, bark, B, leaf, C, stem. So sa qualifier, much is vague and much have been replaced by more specific qualifiers like 90% of the photosynthesis process or some similar phrases that would be more precise. Okay, so do not use modifiers or that are vague. Okay, so next na po, avoid complex or awkward word arrangement. Also avoid use of negatives in the stem as this may add unnecessary comprehension difficulties. Okay, so natay example diri nga poor ang um iyang problem. The President of the Republic of Philippines, Corazon Juan Aquino, would stand next to which President of the Philippine Republic subsequent to the 1986 EDSA Revolution. So, kung makita niyo diri, medyo avoid ta sa complex or awkward. Medyo daghan kay kag mga ipang mention, awkward arrangements, word arrangements. Kay kani, the better, the simple, the better. The simple or shorter nga understandable sa student, the better. Who are who was the president of the Philippines after Corazon Aquino? Di ba? Kung makita nimo asa man dire mas dali ra masabtan. Kani, syempre ang better. Kani kay taas kaayo niya. Nakakasabot sa mga other words na. Okay? So the simple multiple choice test nga problem, the better. Do not use negative or double negatives as much statements tend to be confusing. It is best to use simpler sentence rather than sentence that would require expertise in grammatical constructions. Okay? So, dili pwede magamit og negatives or double negatives. So, example, which of the following will not cause inflation in the Philippine economy? Mura kag ma-confuse na not cause inflation. What if kani imong buhaton, di ba? Which of the following will cause inflation in the Philippine economy? So daghan di kag maingon. Daghan kitag manahon na makakause og inflation. Kaysa aning will not cause inflation, imong ginegative. Okay? Then next is what does the statement develop patterns for during the formative years are not unchangeable imply. So example ano yun? That is a poor question. Kaniyang better question. What does that statement development patterns acquired during the formative years are changeable? Then you write imply. So mo na kung pasabot na tayo word na not, dire wala. So mo nang do not use negatives or double negatives. Okay? Pwede kang gamit og except. Di ba kasagara sa mga board exams, sa let, kay gamit kag except and ato. Each item or stem should be as short as possible. Otherwise, you risk telling more for reading and comprehension skills. So, mura ang giingon, ayo po ng baga kaayo nga mura kag storytelling or sa English ra ba nga more exam kay nay baga pa kaayo nga phrase, may multiple choice dayon, di ba murag makaon na imong oras. So, kailangan nga ikaw as a teacher kung magbuhat kang exam, make sure nga short as possible for the multiple choice. Next is distractors should be equally plausible and attractive. Example, for the short story May Day's Eve written by which Filipino author? Nato, no? So kung makita nimo diri murag makaingon ka wala familiar lagi ni attractive ni siya kay mura na ako nahibaw-an niya nga di ba mura na ako nakaila so mura na mo ansiran. If distractors had all had been Filipino authors, the value of the item would greatly increase. In this particular instance, only the first three carry the burden of the entire item since the last two can essentially disregarded by the students. Okay? So, next upon, all multiple choice options should be grammatically consistent with the stem. Siyempre, kailangan po nga grammatically consistent po ta. Sa number 8, the length, explicitness, or degree of technicality of alternative should not be determinants of the correctness of the answer. The following is an example of this rule. If three angles of two triangles are congruent, then the triangles are so isip ano na ni? 'Di ba kung makita nimo the problem congruent whenever one of the sides of the triangle are congruent, similar, equilateral, therefore must be congruent. Equilateral if they are equiangular. So kung makita nimo diri, the choice is B. May be obvious from its length and explicitness alone. The other choice are long and tend to explain why they must be correct choices, forcing the student to think that they are, in fact, not correct answers. Okay? So in Ana, so next na po, number 9, avoid stems that reveal the answers to another item. So inano mo, wag kang gumawa ng hint or idea from the stem pa lang. Ayaw jud i-reveal ang answer to the other item. Avoid alternatives that are synonymous with others or those that include or overlap others. Example, what causes ice to transform from solid state to liquid state. So kung mapakita mo diri, the option A and D are essentially the same. Di ba? Change in temperature, change in heat levels. So a student who spots these identical choices would right away narrow down the field choices A, B, C. So last distractor would play no significant role in increasing the value of the item. So inana siya makita nimo nga naay synonymous sa mga choices. So ayo i-avoid jud na. Kay kung makita nimo dire ang change in temperature then change in heat levels kay pare-pareha. So kailangan lahion pud nimo. Kay kung makita nimo mga pare-pareha na ma-confuse ang student sa imong choices. Next na pod, avoid presenting sequence items in the same order as in the text. Number 12, avoid use of assumed qualifiers that many examinees may not aware of. Number 13, avoid use of unnecessary words or phrases which are not relevant to the problem at hand. O, trupod ni no, nga natay problem sa problem kay magbuhat na noon kag not related pa jud sa main problem. So, na yung mga inana, unnecessary words or phrases. So, no, dili na pwede siya buhaton. Make it short and simple jud pag magbuhat ka sa multiple choice problems. The item's value is particularly damaged if the unnecessary material is designed to distract or mislead. Okay? So, makakreate jud siya og ah, misleading. Especially kung mag-create na kag mga choices niya, walay klaro ang question. So, meaning, such items test the student's reading comprehension rather than knowledge of the subject matter. Example, the side opposite of 30-degree angle in the right triangle is equal to half the length of the hypotenuse. If the sine of the 30 degrees is 0.5 and the hypotenuse is 5, what is the length of the opposite side of the 30-degree angle? So the sine of the 30-degree angle is really quite unnecessary since the first sentence only gives the method of finding the length of the opposite side of the 30-degree angle. O, di ba? Kung makita nimo, kung nagali sa isa ka length, hypotenuse, no? So actually, ang sine of a 30-degree degree angle na kinahanglan, no? Maka-add siya og distraction sa imo ang problem. Nga not necessary ra diay siya sa pag-solve, 'di ba? So in this case, the teacher who wants to make sure that no students in his class gets the wrong answer. Okay? Naa diyay mga inana maghatag og mga numbers or given numbers nga dili man di apil sa pag-solving, no? Makadala jud siya og distractions sa problem. So i-avoid jud na siya. Okay, so number 14, use the non-relevant sources of difficulty such as requiring complex calculations when only knowledge of principles is being tested. Okay? So, lisod kayo, no? Kung ang problem kay complex, gina-require niya complex calculations nga knowledge ra jud na ang kinahanglan to be tested. So, yun nga, in the previous example, knowledge of the sine 30-degree angle would have led some students to use the sine formula for calculation even if the simpler approach would have sufficed. So, kung makita nimo sa problem, di ba? Igura man dahil igura namin mo isolve ang length side of the opposite sa 30-degree angle nga may labot sa computation ng 30-degree angle, di ba? So number 15, avoid extreme specifically requirements in the responses. And number 16, include as much of the item as possible in the stem. This allowed less repetition and shorter choice options. So mo na mo include sa items as sa pagbuhat sa problem. Should be less repetition and shorter choice options. Number 17, use the none of the above option only when the his answer is totally correct. Diba na yung mga ilan yung mga problem, di ba? Magbuhat sa board exam or ko magbuhat kag exam, di ba? Moingon kag all of the above or none of the above. So kana nga choice, when a choice of the best response is intended, none of the above is not appropriate since the implication has already been made that the correct response may be partially inaccurate. Okay? And then number 18, note that the use of all of the above may allow credit for partial knowledge. In the multiple choice option item, allowing only one option choice, if the student only knew that two options were correct, then he would then deduce the correctness, all of the above. So inana, di ba kung sa mga choices, kung makapansin niya kay halos na ng choices kay mali, di ba? May tabo, ma-answer na niya all of the above. The same also sa all of the above. Kung makita na niya nga two options were correct, then makakonclude na siya all of the above. This assumes that you're allowed only one correct choice. Di ba? Kasagara sa board exam or sa exam, kung mag-create kay we're looking for the best answer. Okay, next, number 19, having compound respond choices may purposefully increase difficulty in the item. And the difficulty of the multiple choice item may be controlled by varying the homogeneity of degree of similarity of response. The more homogeneous, the more difficult the item. Okay? So, syempre kung mayroon kang homogeneous, same ang ato ang ginagamit, okay? Or degree of similarity of responses, medyo maglisod na, di ba? That makes the difficulty of the multiple choice. So, example dire, less homogeneous. Thailand is located in. So, syempre, kung magbuhat kang multiple choice, dili po na pare-pareha tanan nasa Southeast Asia, imong gilahi, no? So, imong butangan, Southeast Asia, di ba? Eastern Europe, South America, East Africa, Central America. So, laylayon nimo, dili pwede nga tanan choices kay naara tanan sa Southeast Asia. So, make sure nga dili siya homogeneous. Dapat hetero. Kay basin man gud kung ang choices Thailand is we only know that it's in the Southeast Asia. Yan, ibutang nimo dira East Asia, North Asia. Di ba? Makaingon ka na naman siya sa Asia. Pero may better nga, layo lang nimo yung continent. Okay? Para mahitabo nga sayon na siya pag-determine. Kay kung puro Asia ang mga location, mura din ang mahitabo nga difficult na ang multiple choice niya. Kani, another example, more homogeneous. Muna ang pasabot, Thailand is located next to, diba, Laos in Cambodia, India and China, China and Malaya, Laos and China, India and Malaya, diba, medyo lisod. Makaingon jud kag lisod. Kay homogeneous man siya. Meaning, kung makita nimo puro nasa Asia lahat ang mga locations ng mga problem. Nya, kung dili ka mayog geography, mga kabala sa makitang Thailand, hindi na ka-answer ang estudyante. Managna na lang sa choices. Di ba? So, mo nang, kung gagamit ka sa question nga Thailand is located, wag gumamit ng puro Asia tanan ang mga countries. Better use continents, okay, para makabalo ka nga Asia raman tong Thailand. So, na siya answering Southeast Asia. Okay, so anyway, natay exercises 3.1, but kaning mga makita ninyo ng mga exercises kay gipang butang na ako nito sa Moodle para sa inyo ang assignment, quiz, exam, dira na pud ko magkuha. Okay? Dira na jud makita ang inyong assignment, quiz, exam. Okay, so next na pud nato is ang matching type and supply type items. So sa matching type items may be considered as modified multiple choice type items where the choices progressively reduce as one successfully matches the items on the left with the items on the right. So we have an example, match the items in the column A with the items in column B. So familiar man tayo no, kay kasagara ginagamit din siya sa high school, elementary, no? Pag magamit sa matching type, no? So meaning kung makita nimo asa dira ang relatable, di ba Magellan ra gibutang. So sa column B naman, asa siya dira? First president ba siya? National hero, discovered the Philippines, brain of Katipunan. So inana, normally, B will contain more items than A to prevent guessing on part of the students. Matching type items, unfortunately, often less lower order thinking skills. So yung matching type na ginagamit kay mahulog ra siya sa knowledge for the Bloom's taxonomy level 1 and are unable to test higher order thinking skills such as application and judgment skills. No? So a variant of the matching type items is a data sufficiency and comparison type of test illustrated below. For example, write G, the item on the left is greater than the item on the right, then L, if the item on the left is less than item on the right, and if the item on the left equals item of the right, and D, meaning they are not cannot determine the relationship of two. So we have here the column A, column B, then tanawon nimo kung greater ba siya or less, di ba? Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 9 is 3 and positive 3, di ba? Then direct kay 3, negative 3 naman. So the data sufficiency test above can, if appropriately constructed, the test higher order thinking skills. So you can see this item goes beyond simple recall of facts and in fact requires students to make decision. Another useful device for testing lower order thinking skills is the supply type of test. Like the multiple choice test, the items in this kind of test consist of a stem and blank where the students will write the correct answer. So kani, supply type test nato, the study of life and living organism is called blank. So medyo challenge din ni siya, no? Mura siyang mahulog na identification na problem. So meaning the supply type test depends heavily on the way that the stems are constructed. So medyo challenge kay identification man na kung usay mo natun-an or na-discuss sa klase, mo jud ang i-follow or usay book nga gina-follow, mo jud ang dapat i-answer because this test allows for only one and only answer, one and only answer and hence often consists only the student's knowledge. It is, however, possible to construct supply type of tests will test the higher order thinking skills as the following example will show. So, meaning, ang ato ang supply type items or kaning makita ninyo nga identification, mabutang siya sa higher order thinking skills. Kay lisod kay ng identification kay one word ra yung gipangayo. Isa ra ang correct answer, dili na siya ma-consider lain pa, di ba? Kay identification, we're looking for the correct answer. Wala nang choices. So, example, write an appropriate synonym for each of the following. Each blank corresponds to a letter. Diba? Kung makita nimo dire, yung mga example na to, diba? The appropriate synonym for metamorphose is change. It is 6 letters. Kaya naman siya is 6 blanks dira gibutang. While yung flourish is grow. Kinatay 4 letters nga blank dira. So notice that these questions requires not only miracle of words but also understanding of the words. Okay? So inato ra ang matching type and supply type items. Lastly, narata diri sa essay, essay is classified as a non-objective test allows for the assessment of higher order thinking skills. So sa part naman sa Bloom's taxonomy nato is nana siya sa mga level 5, level 6. Okay, sa higher order thinking skills nato. Because this such tests require students to organize their thoughts on a subject matter in coherent sentences in order to inform an audience. So in essay tests, students are requested to write one or more paragraphs on a specified topic. So kasagara sa mga essays ng mga teachers, kaya ng mga English, Filipino, or history, pol sci, di ba? Kay kasagara ba ang mga exam nila kay ka-essay jud, no? Graduate matest ang imong of course sa natun-an ani nga topic or based on your syempre no challenge sa imong paragraph sa imong grammar daghan jud kayo atiman, di ba? So that's why essay questions can be used to measure attainment of the variety of objectives. So we have here the listed 14 types of abilities that can measure by essay items. So syempre naapod tay mga abilities na ma-measured by the essay items. First na to is the comparison between two or more things. Syempre kung mag-create kag essay problem, no? Na kay mga gina-measure. Example kani, pwede ka mo gamit sa essay by the comparison between two or more things. So katong igawa sa inyong prelim, di ba kay nagpa-essay man ko what is the anong difference between assessment and evaluation in mathematics. So sa number two, development of defense of an opinion. Kani, di ba? Base opinion na. Next question of cause and effect, explanation of meanings, summarizing of information in a designated area, then the analysis. Okay? So, napatay number seven, knowledge of relationships. So, dagan kayo pwede makabuhat og essay nga gina-follow lang nato ni siya. Illustration of rules, principles, procedures, and application. Number nine, application of rules, laws, principles of the new situations. Number 10, criticism of the adequacy, relevance, or correctness of a concept, idea, or information. Number 11, formulation of the new questions and problems. 12, organization of facts. 13, discrimination between objects, concept, or events. And 14, inferential thinking. Ang inferential thinking related sa statistics nato kay naman tay inferential statistics for interpretation based on sa data inana. So meaning kaning mga na-mention nato nga 14 ka buok for the essay for measurement that are the higher level skills mentioned in the Bloom's taxonomy. So the following are rules of thumb which facilitate the grading of essay papers. Ikaw, kung mag-essay ka sa exam or for the assessment of your students, na tayo gina-follow na rule of thumb. So, ano mo paggrado sa essay? First, number one, phrase the direction in such a way that the students are guided on the key concepts to be included. Okay? So, make sure nga guided sila sa mga key concepts. So, example, essay, write an essay about the topic of the plant photosynthesis using the following keywords, the phrases that is chlorophyll, sunlight, water, carbon dioxide, oxygen, byproducts, stomata. So, at least naakay idea or directions para magaling students sa imong gusto nga ipa-essay sa ilaan. So, note that the students are properly guided in the terms of the keywords that the teacher is looking for in this essay examination. Okay? So, kung makita nimo diri, mao ni siya ang sa plant photosynthesis. Iya ang gibuhatan niya essay na. Okay? Which is make sure nga guided siya sa concepts. Rule number two, inform students on the criteria to be used for grading their essays. This rule allows the students to focus on relevant and substantive materials rather than on the peripheral and necessary facts and the bits of information. So, again, kung magbuhat kag essay, make sure nga ma-inform sila for the criteria. So example for the topic, murag gyapon ang topic, photosynthesis, plant photosynthesis, using the keywords indicated. So kung makita nimo natay mga keywords indicated na for the graded according to the following criteria: coherence, accuracy of statements, use of keywords, clarity, extra points for innovative presentation of ideas. E nato, pwede kaya na siya. Rule number 2. Rule number 3, put a time limit on essay test. Importante ni siya. Magbutang kag time limit. Sa rule number 4, decide on your essay grading system prior to getting the essay of your students. Next, rule number 5, evaluate all of the students' answers to one question before proceeding to the next question. Okay? Because scoring or grading essay test question by question rather than student by student makes it possible to maintain more uniform standard for judging answers to each question. This procedure also helps offset the halo effect in grading. Okay? So, naa kay katabang sa course offset the halo effect grading because when all of the questions one paper and read together, the grader's impressions of the paper as a whole is apt to influence the grades he assigned to the individual answers. So, make sure jud nga one question before proceeding to the next question. Kaya mako-confuse ba ako, no? Kung sagol-sagol na na imong ang kada essay nimo kay ano ra, tapok ra tanan. So, make sure nga students answer to one question before proceeding to the next question. And then, of course, grading question by question, of course, prevents the formation of this overall impression of the student's paper. And each answer is more apt to be judged on its own merits when it is read and compared with other answers to the same question. Then, when it is read and compared with other answers by the same student. Number 6 naman, evaluate answers to essay questions without knowing the identity of the writer. This is another attempt to control personal bias during scoring. Answer to essay questions should be evaluated in terms of what is written, not in terms what is known about the writers from other contact with them. Okay? And the best way to prevent our prior knowledge from influencing our judgment is to evaluate each answer without knowing the identity of the writer. So, importante po na siya. Without knowing the identity of the writer. This can be done by having the students write their names on the back of the paper or using code numbers the place in the place in of names. Okay? So, inana, di ba kasagara ka kanang mga student kay gagamit sila mga code numbers na lang para di na mahibaw-an ng real name. So, pwede nimo na buhaton para walay bias. Okay? Sa pag-evaluate nimo sa iyang essay without knowing the identity, kinsa ni singalan ani, 'di ba? Kay mabias man siya. Kay siyempre baka makapakabalo ba kani bright ni nga students maayo yung pagka-English. So, sa essay niya, so dako kay kag score. Kay ilan man good ka sa writer. So, better nga ang buhaton nimo, pwede ka mogamit og codes sa mga name nila. Next is whenever possible, have two or more persons grade each answer. Best way to check on the reliability of the score of essay answer is to obtain two or more independent judgment. Although this may not be visible practice for routine classroom testing, it might be done periodically with a fellow teacher. So sa essay, dili lang po dapat ikaw lang, make sure nga dagan pud mo para dili pud siya bias. So, di na din magawas ang reliability of scoring essay answers because obtaining two or more dependent ratings becomes especially vital where the results are to be used for important irreversible decisions such as in the selection of students for further training or for special awards. Here are full ratings of several competent persons may be needed to attain level of reliability that is commensurate with the significance of decision being made. So, meaning, dapat, daghan mo, or two or more, pwede galit tulo mo, okay, for the reading the essay of the student. Okay, para wala siya bias. Some teachers use the cumulative criteria, that is adding the weights given to each criterion as basis for grading, while others use the reverse. In other latter method, each students begin with a score of 100. Points are then deducted every time a teacher encounters a mistake or when a criteria is missed by the students in his essay. So, pwede po inana ang pag-scoring nimo nga pabaliktad mag-start kag 100 perfect score then kada sayop jud nga makita nimo imo ra na siya i-deduct, okay? And then kung pila na ito nabibilin mo to na ang iyang score. Okay, and next we have here the following exercises, and as I said, dira jud ko magkuha sa assignment quiz exam ra jud. Okay? So make sure nga i-practice ninyo ni tanan ha nga ma-answer kay manggawas ni tanan. Dili naman ko magkuha sa inyong sa Moodle online nato. Okay? So we're done. Ang next topic na pod nato is chapter 4 for next discussion nato. Okay? So that's it.